Greetings, this is Foul or Not. This is my hunter profile. Look at the stuttering. Jesus fucking Christ, look at this shit. I can't believe this is a Monster Hunter game, man. Like, this feels like Monster Hunter from Wish, I'm not gonna lie. Incidentally, behind my picture here, I've got a note saying less story, more Monster Hunting Capcom. So maybe people will see that. But no, they won't because I never go online. But anyway, I finished low rank the other night, and I did a little bit of high rank, right? And I kind of want to go through my experience and talk about this a bit more. So this will be another one of my Monster Hunter complaints videos. Now, overall, I do like the game. I have had a lot of fun playing the game. Friends of mine have seen how excited I've been playing the game, mainly when it lets me play. When Monster Hunter Wilds actually lets you play, it is really, really fun, even if it is stupidly easy in comparison to old titles. Even World, which is madness, but yeah. Even if it is stupidly easy in comparison to that, it is still a lot of fun when it lets you play. The problem is, it doesn't let you play because it's too busy trying to tell you a story, and unfortunately, all of low rank is that. The rhythm of low rank is dialogue, 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 follow NPC around, dialogue, dialogue, cutscene, hunt. Dialogue, 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 follow NPC around, dialogue, dialogue, cutscene, hunt. And the entire game is that. And every now and again, after you've killed so many monsters, you get to walk over to the handler, the guild mom, whatever you want to call her, and you get to do one of these optional quests, right? And in the entire of the game, there is 20 large monsters, in terms of low rank, mind you. So let's go my hunter profile. I have, and I'll show you what I've killed, right? They're all the quests I've been on, technically. But let me just show you what I've killed. So, I have spent 35.6 hours in the game. And in that time, I have killed 2 of these, 3 of these, 5 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, 1 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 4 of these, 0 of these because they cockblock you and they don't let you actually fucking kill it. 3 of these, 4 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these. And then we get to the Yankoku fight, which is a nice little Easter egg at the end, basically. They were teasing that throughout the game, if you know where to look. And Yankoku is a personal favorite of mine. Really, really goofy dragon. Although it is really, really funny how Yankoku is kind of like the bridgeway between low rank and high rank to me, because Yankoku's kind of like the early bird, as I call it, like the first proper fight. Most Monster Hunter games go raptor, early bird, right? So first you get your raptor of the game, which is this little chicken guy in this one, and then after that you get your bird. Well, in this game you get a spider in that thing. I'm not against that. It's nice to see, you know, Yankoku being a threat. Well, as much as a threat as this game will allow. And yeah, it's really cool to see it in high res. I don't know whether it was in Rise, but it looks really fucking good in this. I love Yankoku. It's one of my all-time favorites. So it's nice to see it back. And its goofy little self. But pretty easy fight. And yeah, so Yankoku I don't count because Yankoku is kind of like the bridgeway between low rank and high rank. But this is the game. So there's 20 monsters in total. In low rank. And then we get into high rank. This thing you only get to kill once. This thing you only get to kill once. This thing is pretty easy. But that is typical for those fights. This is like the end game large monster fight. And when large monsters get to that size, unless they're a spectacle fight like Gen Moren, they're kind of easy. They've always been this way. This is why they make a lot of these big monster spectacle fights and have, like, you know, terrain damaging things, so you've got a bit of a timer, again, like Gen Moren, because killing these monsters when they're that big, normally, kind of turns it into a joke, because they're so big, they are kind of like slightly moving punching bags, like Gammoth from Generations is a fantastic example of this. Gammoth is really, really cool, but she's so big, she can't do shit to you. Like, you just hit her 24/7 and you're gonna kill her. She only becomes a problem when you're after, like, specific breaks. But if you just want to kill her, just aim for the legs and you're done. Like, there's nothing she can do. And it's the same thing with this guy. Really cool fight, by the way. I love the gimmick. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't done it yet. I love the gimmick. Really, really cool fight, but easy. But that's fine because they're all like that, really. This is the hardest fight in low rank, the flagship, which is fine because they never, ever fail with the flagships. This is a really cool monster, really cool fight, really cool armor. The funny thing is, I've killed it once, and while killing it once, I was able to make its entire set of armor, a great sword, and my Palico's armor set, which it isn't wearing currently. It's currently wearing high rank Raphaelus. From one hunt, well, one large monster hunt, I also had to kill a bunch of these fuckers as well. But to get the Guardian Bones, which is, yeah, tough Guardian Bones. So I had to kill a bunch of those to get that. But outside of that, one large monster hunt, and I was able to make the entire set. And the weapon. And my Palico's gear. The game's not easier, you've just got better at the game! Yeah, okay. It was never this easy to gear up and get stronger in past games, but never mind. Anyway, so, the game is just story. Story, 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 story. Now, the story runs the gambit. It is really fucking boring at first. Outside, like when the initial, hey, welcome to a new game intro, when that wears off and you realize, no, the welcome to the new game intro isn't the intro, it's the whole ass fucking game, it starts to get very, 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 very annoying. The fact that you don't spend much time in the first area before you're already moved on to this, and you barely spend any time here before you're already moved on to the next area, makes the game feel incredibly rushed, whilst also being fucking slow. The pacing is dreadful. The hunters kind of like, the characters meander about, like, kind of say the same basic shit over and over again. It plays out over and over again, and at a certain point near the end, the story does start to get a little bit interesting, because it goes into the same kind of thing that Monster Hunter has been covering for years, like the hubris of humanity, humanity versus nature, humanity getting a little bit too big for his britches and then paying for it. That is the constant theme in the Monster Hunter series, and it's done quite well near the end of the story. The kid is going to be a divisive figure because he can be incredibly annoying at times, but I thought he was fine. I like the characters. There's not a single bad character in the game, in my opinion. I like the characters. I think the story's pretty good for a Monster Hunter game and fine in average. But the thing is, I wasn't buying Detroit Become Human here. I wasn't buying a Telltale game. I wasn't buying Life is Strange. I didn't buy a narrative game. I bought Monster Hunter. I love narrative games, but when I buy Monster Hunter, I want to hunt monsters. But I couldn't hunt monsters because I was playing NPC Follower. I wasn't playing Monster Hunter, I was playing NPC Follower that occasionally allowed me to hunt a monster every now and then. And the entirety of low rank is like this. It's just entirely like this, and it's maddening. It's maddening, because I want to hunt monsters. Now, I'm in high rank now, and finally, in high rank, they do actually let you out your fucking cage. Though not initially. Initially, you're trapped in this area, and you cannot do dick except, once again, follow an NPC around, and then you fight a cuckoo, and once the cuckoo is captured, then great, you can actually start fucking hunting. I will say, one of the things the story does in this game is something that World did as well that I find fucking hilarious. This is going to sound like a complaint, but it's not a complaint because I think it's really funny, but I don't think funny is the intention. Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Wilds both do this thing where they try to pretend that they're scientists. We're scientists, we're studying. But they do it in kind of like an old British explorer kind of way, where by studying, they mean invading a country, killing all the wildlife, taking it back home with them in cages, and claiming that they're scientists. It's like, every hunt has to be approved of by the Hunters Guild, because we wouldn't want to damage wildlife. But really what it boils down to is this monster is in our way. This monster's in our way. This monster has inconvenienced us. We have gone exploring. We have found ourselves in this monster's den. The monster is understandably upset over this. And we're like, well, guess we have to kill it. Once or twice, the hunting is legitimate because the monster has lost its fucking mind and is just... It's like it's got rabies and it needs to be put down for its safety and everyone else. Sometimes the monsters need to be hunted because they are, like, threatening a settlement with humans. Like, okay, this is too dangerous. We need to take care of these before they become a problem. But most of the time, the monster is just inconvenient. It's in our way, so we need to take it down. It's kind of like a video game version of South Park's "It's coming straight for us!" Like, it really is that. It's justified hunting. Like, loosely justified hunting. It's like, but it's not. It's not. And Monster Hunter World did this as well, and it's fucking funny. It's like, yes, we are scientists, killing everything in our way and carving it up into little pieces. Killing and capturing, because you also get sent out to hunt for fish and for endemic life. Like, one guy is even in a competition with another researcher as to who can research the most endemic life and the rarest endemic life, and it's funny. Like, the story and the characters are fine. The problem is the execution, right? I would love this story if it took a backseat to the actual video game. The problem is, the story is the major focus, and the video game you very rarely get to play in comparison. Now I'm in high rank, and after, again, more fucking story, it allows me to go out and explore. So I go out and explore, and I hunt a Kongala, I hunt one of these beautiful rose spiders, and then I see... Ooh, I see something like that. Right then. Let me... I'm not even going to have noms. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my headphones in, and we're going to go hunting, because I don't know what that is. So, I kill a Kongala. I kill a spider. And then I go up. Uber! Thank you for hiring Raptor Uber Deliveries. Right, so I see this on the map, and I go over, I'm like, ooh, what's that? New monster. And what it turns out to be is a fucking Rathalos. I'm like, awesome, let's give it a try. Probably won't kill it, but let's give it a try. Oh, I kill it. Yeah, I kill it, wasn't a problem. Have you ever, veterans of the series, have you ever killed a Rathalos the moment you got into high rank? You haven't got any high rank gear whatsoever, but you were able to kill a Rathalos. Have you ever been able to do that? The game's not got easier, you've just got better at the game. Nah, the game's got easier. I'm not that good. Like, I'm good at this series, but I'm not that fucking good. Oh, hello pretty spider. Like, I'm good at this series, but I'm not that pretty. But actually, right now, this is a perfect moment to explain. This game is fucking gorgeous. And this kind of shit's why I'm enjoying it, because the game is gorgeous. What is this? Oh, Rathian? I killed your husband recently. What are you? You also a Rathian? Oh, yeah, it's a Rathian. Look how pretty she is! Look how gorgeous she is! Have I got... No, I better not get poisoned then. Look how pretty she is, though. She's absolutely stunning. Let's make her day worse. Hey, girl. BAM! So this is high rank. I am completely in low rank gear. Except for my cat, of course. Let's see how we do. But, yeah, like, I managed to kill a Rathalos without any problem. And I'm still in low rank gear. Which is wild to me. Like, absolutely fucking wild to me. I was already engaging with the target. Oop. Better not get hit by that. But, yeah, the game is definitely easier. And the game focuses way too much on story. She's going to do the tail thing. No, good. We're good. The game focuses way too much on story. Now, I do have another story to meet up with the guy that's running the show here. So, it might unlock new mechanics. I'm not sure. God, look how pretty this game is, dude. Look, we're in It's nighttime. We're in a rainstorm. Look how vibrant the fire is. Look how, like, the mist is. This is a gorgeous game. This is a stunning game. And when it actually allows me to hunt... Oh, fuck. I have an absolute blast. Like, I'm really enjoying this. Even though I'm taking the piss out of it being fucking brain dead easy, I am enjoying the game. Here's where I get one shot. I mean, saying it's easy, that's just sod's law like there. You know what I mean? Let's sting her over here. Come here, love. Come on. Come on. Come on, Raffy, Raffy, Raffy. Come on. Raffy. That's your good girl. That's your good girl. Oof. My dog's just come in the room. I'm not talking about you, yo. I'm gonna take a risk here. So, one thing I don't often find myself using, by the way, because it... Oh, shit. Hello, buddy. I've not seen you in a while. One thing I do often find myself using... Oh, sorry, don't often use, because of how broken it is focus mode, right? So, when this fucker pisses off, can I find any dung around here? Dung. Nope. Can't see any shit. So, we'll just watch these guys do their thing. So, when, I forgot what I was saying now. Ah, focus mode, yeah. So, focus mode is funny. So, I'm gonna completely miss, right? No, I'm not. Now, I don't know how much you guys know, but that right there is crazy broken from a greatsword perspective, right? The greatsword does crazy damage, but its drawback is it relies on the player knowledge of the monster, right? In order to line up these abilities, these attacks, you need to know the monster's patterns. If you don't know the monster's patterns, you're mostly wasting your time using the greatsword, right? However, I like how also they don't need to see the fucking firefly in order to be hit by it. So, with this, I can just aim. Like, I can just aim, and it's fine. Which is madness. Another system that makes wilds easier is the wound system. The amount of damage wounds can do is pretty fucking wild. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and mount her. I'm going to show that off. The game is objectively easier than any Monster Hunter game to date, to the point of absurdity. Keep in mind, this is high rank. I am in low rank armor. I have not upgraded in any way outside of that. As soon as I reach high rank, I'm essentially doing the same shit that I've always done. And let's get the last one on the head. So this is pretty easy to do. Make sure she... Right. Now, I'm not going to do the full thing. I'm just going to keep stabbing until I land on the floor. Like that. And now what I'm going to do is have a bit of fun. I'm going to draw my sword. I'm going to enter focus mode. And I'm going to do ridiculous amounts of damage. Yeah. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild how much damage you can do in this game. Now, keep in mind that I'm talking here. I'm not playing 100% properly here. I am just talking. Yeah. Oh, let's aim for the head. Say, oh, I'm poisoned. Alright. That was only a matter of time before that was going to happen. Never mind. But, yeah. It is kind of crazy how easier this game is. Because of mechanics, right? So, if I get in trouble, call the raptor, run away, do a bit of healy-healy, you know, do a bit of sharpy-sharpy, and that's fine. Like, you don't even have to worry about your positioning anymore, because you've got the raptor. If you run into trouble at any time, you can use the SOS, which I've set for NPCs, for farming, because I don't want to deal with players. I've not needed it yet, truth be told, but, you know, maybe when the game I don't want to fight stuff and I just want to farm, then yeah. With the mount gives you easy jump attacks for easy beginner mounting if the terrain isn't in your favor. You've got the wound system, which can completely decimate most monsters. It's kind of wild. She's going to do it again. And then follow it up. Boom! There goes the tail. But yeah, this is high rank. This is high rank. And this feels what low rank used to be. This is what I'm getting at. High rank in Monster Hunter Wilds feels like what low rank would be in any other game. Low rank in Wilds is story mode. High rank is low rank. Basically, that's how it feels. As a long-time player who has been killing these monsters for years. Keep in mind, I talked about the Rathalos before. I'm now facing the Rathian. These are some of my favourite monsters in the series. I know these monsters bloody well, right? I know these monsters bloody well. I used to hunt Rathalos for fun. So, yeah, it is kind of crazy how easy this game is. But my major issue, really, is the story. It really is just the story. That's my major issue. Because they could do this story, and the story is neat. Come on, Deacon. She could do, like, they can do the story. The story is neat. I'd like to see them continue on this kind of, like, silly, you know, pseudo-preservation society kind of, you know, story. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see them continue it, but I'd like to see them continue it in a way that makes fucking sense. That doesn't put the actual gameplay of Monster Hunter on the back burner. I love how she doesn't have to be facing the fly. Oh, I should have shoulder bashed there. I love how she doesn't need to be facing the firefly in order for it to work. Like, that's wild. I know I keep using the term wild. I keep wanting to say madness instead, but... Oh, trap. Nice one, Rain. Alright, over here, girl. Come on. Oh, she's a clever girl, isn't she? Come on, over here. Over here. Come on, honey. That's right, you're gonna throw a fireball at me, aren't you? Yeah, yeah. Come on, right here. Are you gonna be smart? No. But, the wound system is broken. The raptor's broken. The general stats of the monster seems crazy nerfed. Whoop. And it is just objectively easier. This isn't a case of me getting better at the game. Like, I have not gotten any better at fighting Rathian. I have not got any better at fighting Rathalos. Ooh, I'm glad that I missed that. I got lucky there. I've not got any better at fighting Rathian. I've not got any better at fighting Rathalos. They've been the same for years, pretty much, minus the odd, like, slight change. Yeah, you're not poisoning me. Come on. Good girl. Ran into our leg like a dum-dum. Let's see. Ooh, poison go. Gonna get poisoned. It's always amusing to me, like, poisoning poison monsters. She's probably gonna charge me now. No? Go. Just getting her ass handed to her by a pair of pink monkeys. Nice to see the Congers back. They've always been a fun one. But, yeah, like, I'm glad the Rathian showed up because she's gonna be... Oh, no, I don't want to be poisoned. Ooh, shit, I rolled into that. But it's nice to see her back. Sorry, it's nice to see Conger back. Nice to see a few of these old ones back. Nice to see Cuckoo back. I am enjoying Monster Hunter, Wilds. I am. When I get to actually play it, I really enjoy it. And the thing about the game is, I don't play Monster Hunter for challenge. I play it because the general core combat of the game is fun. And even though it is undeniably easier, and if you say that it's just people getting better at the game, you're coping. And you can only be saying that because you have no real experience with this series. You're just copying something a YouTuber said. Or you're coping because you're not very good at the game, and the only way you can cope is by saying it's not easier. It's not easier. It is. It's undeniably easier. It's actually crazy easier, and it's easier for several reasons. Like, obviously, as you get better at the game, it will be easier for you. But this is a Rathian, dude. What I killed the other night is a Rathalos. I know these monsters like the back of my fucking hand. I used to kill Rathalos for fun, just for something to do, because I love Monster Hunter, and I wanted to enjoy the game. Oh. But you'll notice that I don't use the focus mode. Because the focus mode is fucking broken. You should not be able to do that. You should not be able to do that. That is not something you should be able to do. The whole point of the greatsword is to target your attacks. It is a weapon that rewards knowledge and skill more than any other. All weapons award knowledge and skill, but positioning is so important for a greatsword. Oh. Positioning is so important for a greatsword that it's just crazy how you've got this mode, this ability, that just completely negates one of the major factors of the greatsword and turns it into a stupidly powerful thing. Like, I'm aiming the wrong way. No, I'm not. Like, it is actually fucking crazy. You should not be able to do that. So I don't use it. Honestly, I don't use it because it is just so unbelievably broken. And World already gave us the ability to pivot. Like, in old games it was just that. And since World, you can do this and, like, aim your attack slightly. That was fine. That was nice. A lot of people complained about that, but honestly, a little bit of change, that's absolutely fine. But the complete 180 angle change is so crazy broken in this game. It's insane. But again, I don't play Monster Hunter for challenge. I play Monster Hunter because the core combat of the game, the core loop of the game is really, 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 really fun to me. That's why I play Monster Hunter. The weight of my weapon when I hit a monster in the face as it's charging to me, when I time an attack right, is very, very satisfying. Too close. Oh, no. Nice! Very, very, very satisfying. And that's why I play Monster Hunter. So the game getting easier isn't really ruining it for me. It's fine. But I think you can tell that this fight is not a high rank fight. The fight I had with the Rathalos the other day, not a high rank fight. This is low rank. High rank in Wilds is what low rank used to be. And I'll die on that hill. High rank in Wilds is low rank in other games. Like, even World was not this easy, which is madness, because World was, like, the biggest casualization of the series, like, the series has ever had. And again, I didn't mind that, because all they did was kind of remove a lot of the tedium of the series. You didn't have to carry around pickaxes. You didn't have to carry around paintballs. Oh no, I'm facing the wrong direction. Never mind. I'm not anymore. You should not be able to do that. That's so stupid. Pick me up, please. Speaking of things you shouldn't be able to do. I swear to God, if I go back to one of the old games, I'm going to be so bad at playing the old game, because this makes the experience so brain dead. It's crazy. It is actually crazy just how much they simplify the experience. But you know what? It's Monster Hunter. It's still Monster Hunter. I'm still enjoying it. This is still a good time. I'm not going to complain when they actually let me play the game. I'm going to complain when they force story down my throat 24/7. Oh, I killed it. So, yeah. There was high rank. High rank Rathian. Felt more like low rank Rathian in older games. Why is the game easier? Right. Well, I've already shown you several examples as to why the game is easier. But let me go into more detail. Let me go into more detail as to why the game's easier. Pretty good. Apparently I needed some of that stuff for something I wanted to make. Was it the Red Wing? Might be the Red Wing, actually. We're going back to the city. That's a new monster unlocked. Pretty good. Yeah. Details. Give. What's that? Fooding? Okay. Beep, beep. Yeah, I know you've received word, but you know what? I'm not doing more story. I've had plenty of story, and right now, love, I actually have some gameplay. I've missed gameplay. I've missed gameplay throughout the entirety of low rank. I want to enjoy the game now that I can actually fucking play it. Right. So let me show you why the game is easy. So first of all, you got the focus mode. That trivializes a lot of the weapons. As well as removing massive skill ceilings from certain weapons like the greatsword. You've got the secrets here, which just remove the necessity, I should say, of timing your potions and your carving. Sorry, not your carving, your weapon, which, by the way, was already nerfed. When you sharpen the greatsword, it's 1, 2, 3, up, right? It used to take a lot less... Sorry, it used to take a lot more time to sharpen. It also used to take a lot more time to drink a potion. I'm not hurt at the moment, so... But it used to take a lot more time to drink a potion, because you drink it very slowly, and then you do this Superman pose, right? And that meant that when you were going to drink a potion, when you were going to sharpen your weapon, you had to time it. It was another element of the fight that rewarded knowing the monster and knowing when it was safe to do these things. When you didn't know, sometimes the best thing to do would be to leave the area, then do it, and then run back. Now, I understand them making that change in World because you no longer had zones. You had a map. Now, in older games, various parts of this map would be split up into zones, kind of like what they've done here. That's Zone 10, that's Zone 9, Zone 6, Zone 4, Zone 2, and so on and so forth. Each one of these would be their own individual maps with loading screens in between them. So if you were fighting a monster in, say, Zone 9, you would then run over to Zone 6 to sharpen or heal because it was too risky not to, and then you would run back. The monster would heal a little bit in between, but it would be fine because so would you. And then you get back into the action if you didn't know what you were doing. When you got better at the game, you learned the monster and you could time it properly, you would drink and sharpen in the middle of combat because you'd know when to do it. But with World becoming a big open map, it did make sense to lessen the animations of doing these things. Now in this game, they've done it even further. Sharpening is faster than ever before. Drinking, whilst pretty much the same as World, you can do both of these things whilst on the Raptor, ensuring that you're never at risk at any fucking point in time. And I also want to show you weapon crafting. Let me show you one of the first weapons I made in this game. This. This is one of the first weapons No, is it this? Not that one. Give me a minute. It's the chicken weapon. Is it the chicken weapon? Because it wasn't made out of firestones, I'm sure. That's the thing. Is it that? No, it is that. It's that. This right here was the first weapon I made in the game. Right? You can see Quimitrace, the chicken raptor, the second monster you fight in the game, and the first real monster you fight outside of the tutorial front, right? This is the first greatsword I am able to make out of a monster. It does 480 damage, gives me 5% affinity, and has 140 fire. That is insanely powerful for a greatsword right from the get-go. Greatswords with affinity were a lot rarer because they already do a lot more fucking damage. They don't need even more possible damage. Greatswords with elemental damage you got later on typically, and when you did, it was about like, what, 80 elemental damage? It really wasn't that much. Elemental damage was really for the faster weapons that did weaker damage, but had more elemental damage to make up for it. Typically, the dual blades being a good example of this. So right from the get-go, I have focus mode, so I don't even have to aim properly. My animations to sharpen and heal are quicker than ever before. I have the Raptor to get me out of danger to do those things if I'm so incompetent I can't do it in the field. I have one of the strongest weapons that I could possibly get. Actually, I have the strongest weapon to ever exist right at the start of a Monster Hunter game. Like, not the strongest weapon in the game, but the strongest weapon acquirable at the start of a Monster Hunter game. That is insane. People who are more familiar with the other weapons, let me know if it's the same for that. You only have to use a few items when crafting armor. Let's see, when we're starting off with, look at this. It requires 2, one of them. Basically, in most hunts, you can get your full set in 1 or 2 hunts. Typically just the 1. Maybe 2 to finish it off. It is, so grinding for more power takes a fraction of the time.
Nowhere to find me.
It's just easier. It's easier because you have so many things in your favor, you might as well be in God mode. You might as well be in God mode. Right? I've just done the high rank Rathian fight without eating, with using very little potions. What the fuck am I doing here? Cancel. Without eating, while using very few potions. Piece of piss. High rank Rathian. It felt like what low rank Rathian used to be. Right? It's not just me getting better at the game. This is a fundamentally easier experience. Because everything has been twisted in your favor in order to make that happen. It just is. So I am very, very tired of people saying, you're getting better at the game, you're getting better at the game. Oh my god, somebody who's been facing G-rank Fatalis for 3 years is able to... No, no, no. I'm pretty sure when Fatalis comes into this game, it might as well be high rank. When they eventually add it in there, it'll be a challenge. It's Fatalis. It will be a challenge. But it won't be like in World. And World wasn't like in past games. You know, it's not the same thing. I'm not comparing G rank or high rank to low rank. I'm comparing low rank from the older games to low rank in this game. And I'm sorry, it's not the same thing. I've mentioned before how the difference between Monster Hunter Tri and Monster Hunter 3U gave you a baseline 50 defense between the games. In 3U, they made the game fundamentally easier by giving you a 50 defense by default, right? Now this was just with the Western release of the game, mind you. In Japan it was basic. You got 1 point of defense as default. Whereas in the Western version of the game, you got 50, because Westerners complain about difficulty all the time, and the Japanese think you're shit. And, well, it seems like it, because the easier games seem to be the more popular ones. But I do think, whilst difficulty isn't the reason why I play these games or enjoy these games, I think things are getting a little bit ridiculous at this point. They are getting too ridiculous to the point where Monster Hunter... It feels like a casual experience. This doesn't feel like a hardcore game series anymore. It feels like a casual game series. Which is kind of wild. Like, it really does feel like a casual series now. Because, like, if that was a high-rank Rathian, and if the Rathalos I killed the other night, if that was a high-rank Rathalos, there's no way in hell I could make a video only paying half attention to the fight and still do it without sweating. I'd have to focus. If I'm wearing low rank gear taking on a high rank Rathian or Rathalos, I would have to focus. Even though I know... These are the perfect monsters to compare it with, by the way, because I know these monsters like the back of my hand. I mean, even during that fight, you saw how I danced around most of its attacks. I got hit a few times. But you saw how I danced around most of its attacks, because I know its attacks like the back of my hand. They've had the same kind of patterns for years, and they've changed slightly, but their patterns have been exactly the same. And I could not kill a high-rank Rathian or Rathalos, especially a high-rank Rathalos, in low-rank gear in past games. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. In fact, I specifically remember the armor you could make out of the last monster in low rank in World being completely fucking useless because you were immediately into high rank after that and you were decimated in that armor in high rank. It's the exact same situation. I am wearing the armor from the last fight in the game going into high rank. In World, that armor was useless because it didn't offer pretty much of anything going into high rank. Well, there's no difference here. Like, there really isn't. High rank in Monster Hunter Wilds is low rank in any other game. Low rank in Monster Hunter Wilds is story mode. Basically. I just think that's crazy. I think it's crazy. It is undeniable that this game is easier. undeniable. If you do deny it, if you do go with these cliche responses, you've just got better at the game, then, again, I can only assume that you started off with World, or this is your first game, and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, or you're coping. And you're not very good at the series, at all. You're below average at the series, and that's the only way for you to feel competent at it, by saying, oh, well, the game's hard for me, so you're just fucking really good at the game. No, that's not the case, because I can notice a difference in the amount of effort I have to put in between games. And it's considerably less than this. And if I go back to one of the older games and do this same thing, I will be decimated. Because it's not the same thing. Low rank in this game is a joke. And high rank is basically low rank in any other game. But the main issue I have with Wilds, still, is the story. Stop taking agency away from the player. Stop forcing me to run around, following NPCs around. Stop forcing me into dialogue. Stop forcing me away from exploration. Allow me to go off your train, like your fucking narrow train path, and actually let me fucking explore. But before I go, I do want to talk about a few more other things. Because the thing with Wilds is, it feels like the focus was just the story, right? The focus was just the story. Because I have a Reddit post here. Because I have noticed there's a few things missing from this game. Now, if they are in this game, let me know. But I have noticed that there's a few things missing in this game. So this Reddit post here reads, it's weird to me that Wilds has the largest development team, budget, and development time yet has so much missing at launch that was present in past games. No gathering hub at launch. Yes, I know it's coming in TU, but we shouldn't have to wait for months for a key feature. No special arena system. No canteen. Less monsters World had at launch, with one of them only being fought once in low rank. That's the one I mentioned, where you don't even get to kill it. With no weapon or armors to craft from. Let's see. Capture quests don't create new arena quests like World did. Monsters, after a while, just stand up and walk away. Yeah, that's if you capture one, they just get up and walk away. No home or room to customize and actually display endemic life you capture, which suggests this is a World player. Because one of the things I absolutely fucking loved about Monster Hunter World was the system in which you could capture endemic life and you could put it on display in your room. That's one of the things that made me completely fall in love with both the endemic life in World and the housing system in World. Prior games had housing systems, but essentially you just unlocked little things every now and again that you could put on display. But World allowed you to display the animals, which added a lot of life and customization to your room, which I really, really, really enjoyed, especially with the extra rare ones that you could find. And the extra rare ones that you could find. Way less optional quests. There's also no farm. Now, they may add one in high rank, I don't know, but from what I've seen, there's no farm. However, it's not really needed, because I at no point have needed to go out and farm for potions, materials. I just gather herbs while I'm out in the field, and I keep this topped up. But, yeah, I forgot, do I have an item pouch anymore? Field pouch? Oh, I didn't even know all that was in here. Can I put this away? Oh, it'll list when you get in your tent. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. But, there's less than ever before. So all this endemic life I'm capturing, there's nothing I can do with it. I just capture it, and that's it. There's no housing system to put them on display and enjoy the very, very cool ways the developers have animated them in different areas depending on where you put them. There's nothing there. It feels like the entire time and budget went on making the environmental graphics and the story. There's no, or very little, I should say, actual gameplay in Monster Hunter Wilds until you get to high rank. And then Once you get into high rank, you actually experience the Monster Hunter thing, where you can go out on hunts, you can come back, you can make new weapons and armor. Can I make the Red Wing now? I'd be very, very happy if I could make the Red Wing. It's my favorite weapon. The Red Wing, hopefully. Yeah, Goku. Oh, no, the Valkyrie Blade, not the Red Wing. That's new. That's the Red Wing. I need one more Raffle certificate. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll make this now, and I'll make that later. Nice. I'm probably not going to be using this high rank Raffian weapon. I might as well just use what I've already got. Does more damage, less affinity. Dragon's very good though. Poison's not as effective as Dragon, so I'll probably be using my lower rank weapon. But yeah. Look at that beauty. Beautiful. I wonder if I have enough to make the thing. No, I won't, will I? So yeah, I have hunted one Raffian, and I was able to make the Great Sword. Funny how that works. Oh, it's crazy, dude. It is actually crazy. Just how easy it is to make off of this shit. Wilds is a prime example of a Two Minds game. I simultaneously love and hate this game at the same time. I love it because I am really enjoying it now that I can actually play the game. I love it when I can actually go on hunts and explore and catch endemic life and hunt monsters and carve them up and see what new armor and weapons I can make out of them. I love it when when Wilds does the classic Monster Hunter loop. But unfortunately, I hate it because this is even more bare bones than Rise was at launch. And Rise was crazy bare bones at launch. Not only is it more bare bones at launch, but they don't have the fucking COVID excuse this time. And it was an excuse with Rise. It was an excuse. And this proves it. They don't even have the COVID excuse that Rise had. It's more bare bones than Rise. And going by the most important feature that the game definitely makes sure that you see when you start the game, it's definitely going to fulfill the thing Capcom really cares about, and it's going to start selling you a shit ton of DLC. Because this is where the development time is going to go. This is where the development time is going to go. As far as I'm aware, the only monster touted that they will add is a Mitsune, the Bubble Dragon. One of my personal favorites, but still, that's the only monster they're going to add. In between that, we're going to get microtransactions after microtransactions after microtransactions, and they make sure to include some free ones right from the get-go to direct you to the most important part of this game for them, the DLC store. They make sure to send you to this right away. So Wilds is basically more bare bones than even Rise at launch without the COVID excuse. And it's still going to have the DLC problem, which I complained about in World, and I was called entitled. I complained about in Rise, and was called entitled. And I'm sorry, but unlike you fuckers, I didn't grow up in the iPad generation. I grew up when you bought video games and you played them. There was no waiting for the game to be complete. There was no basically buying editions. There was expansion packs every now and again, but when I bought a video game, I played the game I bought. I didn't have to wait for it to be finished. I didn't have to pay extra for it to be finished. I didn't have to pay extra for the stuff that they removed from the game to sell as extra. I bought the game and I played it. And up until Worlds, Monster Hunter did this. You bought the game, it was feature complete, packed full of months worth of content, and every month we would get free stuff. Little event quests for a bit of fun. Every month. Maybe like colourful, different coloured palicos, or silly little titles, and free backgrounds for your hunter profile. It wasn't like revolutionary stuff, but it was a nice little tidbit. Every month we get a little bit of free stuff that you could download. Nothing to pay for, entirely free. Complete package, months worth of content. Free stuff every month. Since World, incomplete game, which by the time it is complete, having balancing issues. Lot of microtransactions. Rise is like, Jesus Christ, the microtransactions in Rise was disgusting. Rise put Train Simulator to the test with how much fucking microtransactions they had. And this will be exactly the same. The only reasons I like Wilds more than Rise is because Wilds is more like Monster Hunter World, whereas Rise is more like Spider-Man meets Devil May Cry, which are not games that I want to play when I buy a Monster Hunter game. So that's the only reason I like this one and I didn't like Rise. But many of the same problems I have with Rise, I have with this. It is like 50 fucking steps backwards. Brand new Monster Hunter game, less content at launch than we've ever had, brain dead difficulty, low rank is story mode, high rank is low rank. Like, barely any content, hyper focused on story, and a crazy amount of people online eat it up, and they ignore the flaws that it has in the series. Like, I feel like a lot of people are protective of the Monster Hunter series because AAA gaming as a whole is complete dog shit these days. They're more concerned about injecting their personal politics into everything and, you know, turning everything into identity politics and shit like that. And, like, games full of, like, scummy business practices and microtransactions and season passes and all this kind of shit. Like, people are so used to AAA gaming being complete and utter scummy dog shit that when a game comes out that is still scummy dog shit, but isn't as scummy dog shit as everything else, they run to its defense. Whereas about, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago, this game would have been torn the fuck apart. But things have got so bad in the AAA gaming industry that will eat the fuck up anything that is just slightly less scummy than what is normally scummy these days. And it really just shows you how fucking bad the industry has gotten. And why most people have gone to indies these days. Because you're just going to get a better product a lot of the time. For a fraction of the price. Meanwhile, AAA games, what do we have? Avowed? 70 fucking quid for the most painfully okay experience to ever hit the shelves. Dragon Age Veilguard. Legitimately one of the worst games ever made. That is a colossal insult to both fans of Dragon Age games and the group of people the game claims to speak on behalf of, by making them seem like a bunch of fucking, like, petulant children. Selfish, rude, petulant fucking children. Nah. When those games are your option, I do kind of understand when a game comes out without any of the identity politics and without as many of the bullshit practices. I get it. I get it. It's better than the other scummy shit, but it's still engaging in scummy shit. And as a long-time fan of the series that remembers vividly when this game used to be fair and was for many years the last bastion of AAA games, as soon as World came out, it became popular. That's it. Capcom cashed in. They did what they've done with every other game, and they're exploiting the ever-living fuck out of it, and they think we're all stupid. And apparently, by the way, a lot of people are eating this up. A lot of gamers are, in fact, fucking stupid. The only complaints I've seen about this game is the poor performance. Which, admittedly, considering the fact that it struggles to run a basic-ass fucking hunter profile, look at this stuttering bullshit, they have a fucking point. So add that to the list of complaints. Add this to the list of complaints. Look at this stuttering. What is the excuse for this? This is disgusting. How much did I fucking pay for this game? 90 quid for this. I got way more for less in the past games. Are you serious? So, this is a game that I think the best way to describe Monster Hunter World, it is a game that I am thoroughly enjoying when it lets me play, that I actually feel guilty about enjoying, because I'm giving this less of a hard time than I gave Rise, when Rise had more content. You know, I gave Rise a hard time, especially after World, and I fucking ate World up despite its problems. I complained about the microtransactions, but that was about it. But the series has only got downhill from there. The worst thing to ever happen to the Monster Hunter series was it getting popular in the West. The moment this series got popular, it went downhill. The moment it became popular, it went downhill. So, this is not a hate video. This is the exact opposite. I am a colossal, titanic fan of Monster Hunter. I have not met anyone in the Western world that loves this series as much as I do. Right? I am a colossal, titanic fan of this series. And that's why I'm shitting over Wilds. That's why I'm shitting over Rise. Because this series used to be a lot fucking better. A lot fucking better. Back when it wasn't popular. Back when we had complete experiences, none of this bullshit, a decent amount of challenge. And the only thing like the modern games do better than the old games is the graphics and the character creator. And that's it. Like, the character creator in the old games was archaic as fuck. The graphics were archaic as fuck, even with the brand new games. Monster Hunter's been a game that's been graphically outdated for years. But you know why I kept playing it? Because I don't look at video games, I play them. Right? I appreciate these pretty graphics. This is fucking stunning. This is my favorite zone in the game. This is stunning as fuck. I really, really appreciate the graphics in this game. I appreciate the weather effects. It is a fucking gorgeous game. And it's really, really fun to play. And it still has that Monster Hunter weight that I enjoy from playing Monster Hunter games. That's why the basic gameplay, when it lets you fucking do it, is really fucking fun and satisfying, which is why overall I am enjoying the game. But as a long-time fan of the series that wants Monster Hunter to be like it used to be, you know, complete fucking experiences and good, I've gotta talk about the writing on the wall. It is only a matter of time before they start selling monsters, guys. I remember when I was complaining about the DLC in World and Rise, I was called entitled. I was told that it's just cosmetic, despite the fact that these just cosmetic items were the kind of things we used to get for free in past games. Or just included as part of the package. And I was told, well, it's not like they're selling monsters. It will. They will. They will eventually sell monsters. They will. They will run this shit into the dirt. They will start selling monsters at one point, and you know what? You people defending these microtransactions will defend that as well. Because you like Monster Hunter, and because you like Monster Hunter, you do not like people being critical of the series. See, what you are is a fanboy. You don't care about the quality of the product. You are just a fat pig and want to consume. Meanwhile, I'm a fan of the series. I remember how good it used to be, and I want it to continue to be that good. I want the series I love to be the best that it can be. You just want more. That's the difference between me and you. That's the difference between the people who rightfully criticize the modern iterations since World, and the microtransactions, and the live service model, and all this kind of thing, and the people that just eat up any slop that they're given. Is Wilds a bad game? Far from it. For a AAA game, it's fucking fantastic. But for a Monster Hunter game, it is a giant step backwards. After the prior step backwards Rise had. Which is crazy to me. And again, the only reason I like this more than Wilds is because I hated the fucking web slinging and focus on combos and parries that fucking Rise had. It was mechanic issues I didn't like in Rise, but it's business issues and the hyper-focus on story that I don't like in this. And you know why I don't like the hyper-focus of story on this? Because it's very, 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 very obvious that they did that to pad up the time. Because if all they had to fucking rely on was that, you'd finish it within about 5 hours. The story takes up the bulk of the gameplay until you hit high rank. Right? And I'm going to enjoy high rank. I'm going to enjoy running around, hunting monsters now that I can finally fucking do that. Of course, I do have more story that it wants me to do. But fuck that. I can finally start running around, hunting monsters, finding new monsters, and doing the whole hullabaloo, right? I can finally start doing that. Cool. I'm in, like, so many hours in, I'm finally playing Monster Hunter. Right? And keep in mind, that 35 fucking hour marker I gave you, some of that is a lot of bullshit as well, because I've already recorded like 3 hour-long videos of me playing the game in which all I do is stare at a fucking list of monsters. I recorded a video over an hour long where I just looked at this page, right? So that's an hour in the very least just shit-talking for a YouTube video. That's not an hour actively playing. So that 30 or 35 fucking hour playtime is bloated because I've been making videos. I'm at least happy that I'm in high rank now, and I'm having the some level of challenge, because now I'm in low rank difficulty from past games. I won't drop that, by the way. Again, I don't play these games for difficulty. I play these games for the feel of the combat. But the fact that I'm in high rank and it feels like low rank is laughable. It's laughable. Again, I ask, any veteran of the series, have you ever got into high rank and in low rank gear, not upgrading slightly, immediately killed a Rathalos, like, effortlessly, as if you would do in low rank? Have you ever done that? You know, you've not built up. You've not built up by killing all these other monsters and gaining more armor or weapons until you were strong enough to take on the Rathalos. No, you just killed the Rathalos right away. And a Rathian as well. Have you done that? Because I sure as hell haven't. And I think even if the game gave me the option to, it would kick my ass. This game, however, it's basically low rank difficulty from any other game. So, it's not me just getting better at the game. The game has mechanics changes that has fundamentally made the game easier. And I think I've displayed that here. Right? But, no, like, this game needs to receive a lot less glazing. And I'll tell you what I'm also sick of seeing. I'm also sick of seeing YouTube videos sucking this game's dick because it doesn't have trans people in or black people or something like that. Like, oh, yes, it has attractive women in it and there are no trans people. That makes it Game of the Year. Dude, when you're getting so countercultural that you're essentially, how can I put it? Being punk is not about going against the grain. It is about being yourself. Even if it does go against the grain. Right? If all you are doing is praising the exact opposite of what mainstream society wants you to believe, think, and like, then you're still being controlled by them. Right? It's like people who say that they believe and worship Satan. You're not anti-Christian. You're just another flavor of Christian. You're still being controlled by that religion. You're just pretending not to be. You know, it's one of those things. Like, okay, cool, the game doesn't have trans people and it has attractive women in. Halla fucking you. I get that means the game is perfect in every single fucking way. Or it's just a basic fucking video game. Doesn't mean it doesn't have problems. There's been many video games for years had problems before the fucking social and identity politics polluted them with their cancer. They had problems for years before then. So just because a game comes out and it doesn't tout the usual political bollocks doesn't mean it's inherently perfect. Idiots everywhere. But, here is my newest Monster Hunter Wilds rant. I am so two-minded about this game because when I'm actually playing it, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the environments, I'm enjoying the combat, I'm enjoying the Monster Hunter loop when it allows me to enjoy the Monster Hunter loop. But, as a fan of the series, I have to criticize its performance. I have to criticize its very, very, very slimmed down content. I have to criticize its hyper-focus on story. I have to criticize its microtransactions and general live service modern day game bullshit. I have to criticize, did I mention performance? And I have to criticize its difficulty, right? As a fan of the series that wants this series to be better, I have to criticize the things that are wrong with it. Do you understand how that works? I'm not a hater, I'm the exact opposite. I love this series, and I hate the fact that Capcom is turning it into another fucking cash cow like they have done every single one of their properties, in which they exploit the ever-living fuck out of it and give people the bare minimum. all the budget on this game went on its graphics, environments, and story. They ignored gameplay. They ignored fucking performance. And okay, you're not having problems. You know what? Neither am I. A little bit of stuttering here and there is fine. You know? And one crash at the start of the game. Fine. Since then, no problems. It's not the end of the world. But I am not everyone. And there are way too many people playing this game having issues. Right? So just because it's not affecting me, just like it might not be affecting you, doesn't mean it's not a fucking problem for a shit ton of other people. Do you understand how that works? But, yeah. It's a shame, man. Why has my controls suddenly become the keyboard and mouse? For fuck's sake. I ain't playing Monster Hunter on a fucking keyboard and mouse. Are you high? No. There we go. Anyway, so I have a free day today. I've not got anything planned. I've done a bit of gardening. I need to walk the dogs later. I've done a bit of running around for a family member. So I am actually going to be playing a shit ton of this today. As well as some Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, I think. Yeah, I'll be playing a shit ton of this today. But for now, I shall be logging off. Once again, here's my Hunter profile if you want to check me out at some point. Thank you very much for watching. I hate this because I really do enjoy playing the game. I do. I'm having a blast playing the actual game. But some of the things it does is just inexcusable. And as a fan, I have to complain about it. I have to. Right? But, yeah. Bye for now, guys.